Hello folks, welcome to another episode of Feast Your Peepers. I know, it's been a long time since I've been on here, probably about 3 or 4 weeks. The reason for which the job that I'm in at this time of the year leading up to Christmas is absolute bedlam. So time in between has been short, believe me. I have so many things to catch up with. I've got a pile of movies there. It'll probably take me to February to get through them all, and it's just been, the last few weeks have been frantic, yeah. So I've now got 3 days off to enjoy the ho festivities and all that shit. So I shall, try to relax as best as I can, maybe pop on here a couple of times to fill a few things in, and what I've been getting up to, and updates of what I'm planning to do and stuff like that, yes? So, today's little episode is going to be me running through my favourite Christmas movies, yes? Now, some of these will be horror films. The first batch is going to be all horror related. The second batch will be films that I grew up with back in the 70s and 80s, when we only had 4 TV channels, folks. 4, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not like today, on-demand streaming services. Spoilt the fucking lot of you out there. But anyway, yes, I'm going to go through a lot of films that not necessarily are Christmas films, but films that would have been on TV for the duration of the 2-week period of Christmas and New Year back in the day. Now, a lot of this English fans out there, the British fans, will probably remember the Radio Times bumper issue magazine that came out. They give you the fortnightly rundown of what was coming on the TV, also the TV Times, which I would have spent probably about an hour to 2 hours circling all the films and programs that I wanted to watch, hoping they wouldn't clash between BBC and ITV and Channel 4. Now, Channel 4 didn't come around in 1982. So in the 70s, we only had 3 channels, folks. 3 to choose from. And you had to sit through some atrocious programs, believe me. The likes of Val Doonican's Greatest Hits, or fucking An Evening with Ralph Harris. The less said about that, the better. Jimmy Savile, Christmas specials. Fuck, need I go on? We all know where them guys led to, don't we? Anyway, moving on from those perverts. Yes, the TV back then was 3 channels, 82 with 4 channels, and it was a special time for films. It was a special time. That fortnight you look forward to every year, yeah? Like, obviously you got films throughout the year, but those 2 weeks in that window of time, you would have got all the blockbusters, yeah? You had premieres of Rocky. I think the first time Rocky was shown, I think, was on BBC One in 1982, when the first premiere on British TV, if memory serves. So, you had Jaws, the first time that come on TV. Of course, you had Star Wars every year, and Superman, and all that stuff. So, yes, I'm going to stop withering on here and spouting shit generally here, and jump into this, because there's quite a lot of films to get through. Like I say, the first batch is going to be horror-related Christmas movies. The second batch is going to be films that I hold dear to my heart from my childhood. Some Christmas movies, some not, but from that time period, yeah? That reminds me of Crimbo. So here we go. First one. Silent Night, Deadly Night. That old slasher classic, which has now been remade, which I still haven't seen. But I wouldn't mind seeing it. And we have good old Corey Cunningham in the remake playing the killer. So that should be interesting. So that's that one. Good old slasher goodness there. Next we have one that I only watched about 2 weeks ago over on Pat's channel. Shout out to Pat and Brett over on That Horror Movie Podcast. Well, they've done a watch along with the director and an actress and Leto, shout out to Leto, who played the killer in this movie. So the first time I watched this was on a watch along on their channel, and I have to say this is a great little movie, low budget, independent movie with some brilliant practical effects. Some eye-watering scenes there, folks. I'm not going to go into it, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's one of the scenes that'll stick out in your head for many a reason. So, next we have P2, which is set at Christmas time. This young lady gets trapped, or not trapped, she gets caught in an underground car park for some reason. I can't remember why she's held up there, but she ends up, there's a guy, like a maintenance guy or a caretaker, brings her in, he makes her a dinner. He's doing the night shift at Christmas and brings her in, by the way, he's befriending her and gives her a bit of Christmas dinner and all this, and all hell ensues shortly thereafter. A worthy little film, little thriller, horror thriller. Next we have an underrated slasher film called ATM, which is set, I think it's come out about 2009, 10 thereabouts. And it's about this dude here. What happens is there's a Christmas party of these workers. 3 of them leave the party on their way home. One of them wants to stop off at an ATM machine. It's one of those walk-in ATM machines where the doors close behind you. It's an enclosed ATM machine, yeah? So all 3 of them go into the ATM machine, they get locked in. And this motherfucker is stalking them outside. Quite a tense little thriller, horror slasher film. Worth a watch. Quite interesting. Next we have Home Alone, basically in horror form, called Better Watch Out. And this is a great little fun movie. As I say, it's reminiscent of Home Alone, only set at Christmas time, and this psycho kid is doing all the killing and whatnot. It's a fun film, worth a watch every year. I usually put it on Christmas Eve, so I'll probably watch this later. Definitely worth your time if you haven't seen it. Next, I have one that I have never seen before, and this is a new one for the horror collection at Christmas. Don't open until Christmas. I think it's come out about 85, I think. Apparently it's a little slasher, sleazy number. So I think it's a British film. And it's supposed to be quite good. I don't know, as I haven't seen it. But yes, nothing like a bit of sleaze and slasher mayhem set at Christmas. So I'm looking forward to watching this one later as well. By Idiot Films. Check it out. Next, we have the classic, which goes, I usually save this for Christmas night. I watch it every year religiously. And of course it is Bob Clark's 1974 classic, Black Christmas. And this is a steelbook version. And I got a few years back. I've got about 6 versions of this film. But yeah, that's the one I normally put in, yeah. It's a good transfer in this copy. I think this is by 101. Yeah, 101 Films, yeah. And then following that, I shall go with Mr. Dave McRae. Shout out to Dave McRae. Legend that he is. Lovely guy. Spent, as some of you may know, I said before in another episode, that I spent a couple of days with Dave and Darren from TSL and over at Manchester for the Love of HorrorCon. And it was a fantastic day with those 2 guys. Mr. McRae and Bruce Dale, who made this It's Me, Billy follow-up to the original Black Christmas. So this will be watched directly after the original, along with Chapter 2, which I'm still waiting on getting the Blu-ray. I was hoping it was going to be here for Christmas, but unfortunately it's not yet. Hopefully it'll arrive soon, so I shall watch it on YouTube. I'll watch this disc, and then I'll fire on part 2 on YouTube. So that ends the horror section. Now, folks, let's dive into some of my childhood favourites that I watch every year because it reminds me of those golden days of my youth where life seemed so much fucking simpler. But it probably wasn't. I'm sure it was full of problems. It's all relative, isn't it, as they say? So, first up we have the original Poseidon Adventure. Stellar cast, Gene Hackman, Ernest Borgnine, oh, Carol Lindley, Roddy McDowell, Stella Stevens, Shelley Winters, on it goes. A favourite after you've stuffed your face for the turkey, well, not for me because I'm vegan, but I used to eat turkey back when I was a kid, and then you lie down on the sofa, watch the Queen's speech, which bored the bollocks off you, and then you either watch James Bond, or I would go for this if it was on instead of James Bond. But yes, that was a childhood favourite at Crimbo time. Next we have, not a Christmas film either, Beverly Hills Cop. Yes, this was a favourite of mine at that time of my life, back in the mid-80s. And I used to love watching this at Christmas time when they used to put it on as part of their roster. A fun comedy, classic comedy with Eddie Murphy. Next we have a Christmas film, comedy classic, from my eyes a comedy classic. Grumpy Old Man with Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, and the gorgeous Anne Margaret. Yes, an amazing film. The sequel's really good as well, Grumpy Old Man. It also has Burgess Meredith, Mickey from Rocky. Most of you will probably remember him. And he was in The Sentinel and tons of movies. And this here is a fucking comedy gold. Walter Matthau is one of my favourite comedy actors of all time. That face says it all. He just gives a look and just cracks me up. It's just that face, yeah. Awesome dude. Very, very funny. And Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau together. All their films I love together. They're hilarious. Brilliant. The Odd Couple is my favourite. It's in this pile actually, but it's my favourite comedy of all time. Next we have Stakeout. The first one, the second one's good as well, but the first one I love, with Richard Dreyfuss, Emilio Estevez, absolutely hilarious. You know, some of the scenes. There's a scene in the supermarket with Richard Dreyfuss, and he's waiting in line to get served, and he's getting a bit irate. He's in a hurry, yeah. And the cashier, the woman who's taking his goods and scanning them through, turns around and says, "Eating in between meals?" And he just pulls his face. He goes, "Eating in between meals?" Every fucking time it cracks me up. Such a sarcastic moment, but fucking hilarious. Classic. Love Stakeout. Next, just as I was saying, The Odd Couple. Now, this is a German copy I bought when I lived in Germany. I think the price is still on here. Is it €4.90? Yes. All-time favourite comedy. This is my favourite, hands down, favourite comedy of all time. I've watched this just as many times as I've watched Halloween. You know, it's just, and The Warriors. You know, these three films, I've watched them fucking hundreds of times. Absolute classic. Brilliant stuff. Hilarious. Next we have another Christmas time. Well, set at Christmas time. Trading Places. And again, this is another German copy that I bought while living there. What more can I say about this? Absolutely brilliant. Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy. Classic film. Such a hilarious. Jamie Lee Curtis, of course. And we all know what Seen Me Like there, don't we? Nice set of headlamps. But yes, classic film, worth watching every year without fail. True comedy classic. Next, we have the Vacation films. This is a box set containing 4 of the films. I obviously naturally watch the Christmas one at Christmas time. I also usually watch the first one as well. Usually the first and the Christmas one together. Sometimes I'll do it as a double bill. And this is, you know, doesn't need to be said. It's been seen and talked about and watched thousands and countless times by people. Absolute favourite of mine. Brilliant film. Now, this is a good one. Now, I know a lot of people go for Where Eagles Dare, Kelly's Heroes, which I do slip in, you know, on occasion. Most Christmas times I watch Kelly's Heroes and Where Eagles Dare. It was a staple back in those days on TV. This is another one of my favourites from that time, Midway. Again, it's a stellar cast. You know, Glenn Ford, James Coburn, Hal Holbrook, Robert Mitchum, Robert Wagner. It just goes on and on and on. And the remake of this is actually quite good. It's actually a decent film. I bought that about a year ago. It's not bad. It's really, really good remake. This is a classic wartime sort of movie for those cold, inclement afternoons. Next we have another Walter Hill film. Brilliant. 48 Hours. Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy. Timeless classic. Fucking hilarious stuff. Great action film, action comedy. The staple in my house, always at Christmas. Next I have the Airport box set. Now, my favourite out of these, and the one I watch every year, is Airport 77. One where the plane crashes into the water, and it stars Jack Lemmon. He plays the captain. He's the pilot. And Christopher Lee. The cast is great. It's an amazing film. That's my favourite out of all of them. Is Airport 77. I watch that one every year. But it's a nice little box set. It's a DVD one. I got this years ago. But yeah, definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen those disaster movies. Brilliant stuff. Next is another comedy. The Woman in Red, with the gorgeous Kelly LeBrock and the fucking hilarious Gene Wilder. I love this movie. You know, it's just, again, this reminds me of my childhood. I'm watching this and seeing that scene with Kelly LeBrock walking over the air vent and her dress flies up. Whoo, those legs, man, those legs go on for miles. Outstanding film, hilarious stuff, great. Can't beat a bit of Gene Wilder. Next we have the classic Breakfast Club. What a movie. Timeless, never gets boring. Absolutely brilliant cast, brilliant script. The whole thing, I mean, you can't go wrong with this film. It's an absolute classic. Absolutely brilliant. I've watched this film, lost count, so many times. So many times. Next we have a little curio, but a great movie and a great soundtrack. Most of you will know Ralph Macchio from Karate Kid, yes? And you recognise this girl from The Lost Boys. She played Star, yeah? This is one of my favourite 80s films of all time, by Ralph Macchio and this old dude here, I can't remember his name. Joe Sinisa. And Ralph Macchio plays this guitar wizard kid, yeah? And he's the real blues guy, he loves playing blues guitar. He hooks up with this old dude, and it's basically about him going to the crossroads, supposedly to do a deal with the devil, the old blues legend and all that. And he has to do this like showdown, like a guitar off, if you like, with none other than Steve Vai. So, you know, it's a great little film, good little drama. You know, typical 80s film. Soundtrack by Ray Cooder. Absolutely outstanding. Worth your time if you haven't seen it. A great 80s movie. Underrated. Next we have Class. Now this is, you know, one of these films that Rob Lowe and the likes back in the day. There was umpteen these films. St. Elmo's Fire and all films like that, yeah. So this is one of my favourites from that time. I thought Jacqueline Bisset in this was hot back in the day. But watching her now, it's a bit, it's a bit cringe. But still, when I was younger, I thought she was hot as fuck back then. So a great little drama comedy, worth a watch. I'm not going to tell you too much about it. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. But it's definitely worth your time. If you like St. Elmo's Fire and Breakfast Club and all those Pretty in Pink and all those types of movies, you're going to love this. A great film. Great little teenage coming of age film. Awesome. Next, Nighthawks, with Sylvester Stallone and Rutger Hauer. Absolutely amazing film. One of my, personally, I think it's one of Stallone's best films, yeah. Really, really good film. Worth anybody's time. It also stars, I can't remember his name, Lando Calrissian. The guy who played Lando Calrissian. Oh, God. Brain fart. Senior moment. Just haven't got a white beard for no reason, you know. Senior moment. Can't remember his fucking name. Lando Calrissian was in it anyway. He's Stallone's sidekick cop. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely worth a spit the bricks out, Murdy. We'll all build a house. Anyway, definitely worth your time. Great little thriller. Awesome stuff. Check it out if you haven't. I think it came out in 1980. Worthy little thriller. Lastly, on my batch, I got this the other day. The First Lethal Weapon. Christmas film, yes. Set at Christmas, and what can I say about this? The first one is still my favorite out of all of them out of the franchise. I think this is the first two, but this one still remains my favorite. There's a lovely 4K box set I got, but comes with a whole plethora of different stuff. It's absolutely gorgeous edition. Steelbook, posters, art cards, you name it, it's in here. A classic. I loved this film when I was a kid. I rented it out in video over and over again. Absolutely love it. Absolutely stunning film. Can't wait to dive into this one and we'll give it a watch. I haven't watched this version yet. Now, honourable mentions that I haven't dug out is First Blood. I watch that religiously every year. Now, I watched it recently, like on its anniversary, like it was last week. So I'm not going to watch it again over the next couple of days, but I've already seen it. And normally I have a fire in Rocky, and I've actually watched all those about a week ago. I've done each one, Rocky, the whole franchise. I've watched Rambo, and I've watched Rambo 3 last night. So I've only got Rambo and Rambo Last Blood to go from that franchise. I always watch Rambo and Rocky leading up to Christmas every year. Staples, classics, Stallone, gotta love it. There I have it, folks. I'm 21 minutes in here. I've taken up enough of your time. I hope you like this video. Sorry I haven't been around for a long time. I've been busy. Life gets in the way. You know how it is. I hope to be on here again very soon. And I would really like it if you could hit the old like button, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what your favorites are for Christmas time. You know, let me know down in the comments. Always welcome to see what your opinions are. And with that, I shall leave you, and I shall see you again very soon on my little humble channel with just me and my little phone. No gizmos, no gadgets, no intros, no titles, just me and my lovely little gub. Lovely, isn't it? Anyway, I shall leave you. Merry fucking Christmas. See you soon, folks. Bye.